Yes, okay.
What's going on, guys? Romer the Romer here. I'm here with the college picker. Dude, I don't even know your real name. I know your real name, but Eric.
With a C.
Eric with the C. And yeah, man, he's a super interesting guy. I found out about you a while back. I think I saw you and Rakin at the Green Room meetup on like Rakin's Instagram stuff. And I was like, who is that guy? And then I followed you, and you posted this really cool drone video. It's like this drone, and you were like in Thailand or something.
Oh, the Japan video.
Yeah, and you were like in some abandoned place with like pipes everywhere and water.
Yeah.
Who the hell is this guy? And your bio at the time said you paid off like $26,000 in debt.
Close. Right? Closer to 66, but yeah.
Oh, wow. And yeah, I keep finding more and more interesting stuff out about, and you've been around for a while posting.
Yeah. I've been on YouTube probably, I want to say upwards of like 8 years, 7-8 years, and then Instagram pretty actively over the last 2. But I've had Instagram probably for like 4. So I've like had this like organic following without posting anything, just people that from like YouTube or whatever, like just found me on Instagram. Even though I didn't post anything.
Super loyal following, dude.
No. Yeah, and it literally that happened over about the last year. The beginnings, my first maybe like 1,000 or 2,000 followers, all was like I didn't post anything. It was just people from YouTube like adding me and like never engaged. It was just completely, my inbox was full. I didn't even know how to use the little airplane to look at the DMs or anything like back in the day when I had Instagram.
Yeah. So, I mean, I found out you're a pharmacist recently. So like my mind's still kind of on that. Cause I always thought you were just a full-time flipper. I always knew you were a smart guy, but I was like, oh shit, he's a pharmacist.
And I told Romer this, you don't have to be a smart guy to be a pharmacist. You don't have to be a smart guy.
Okay.
Like even there's some dumb doctors. There's dumb doctors out there.
Okay.
There's dumb pharmacists out there.
What do you have to be smart to do? What job is required?
Oh man, to be smart. It's like so objective, and you can be smart in certain things. Like some people can be really, really smart about a subject.
President of the United States. He's smart.
He's smart about some things, but he's dumb about some things. So it's like, it's totally subjective. Some people think he's dumb about a lot of things. Some people think he's smart about.
I just meant president as like a role.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Trump.
Yeah, I mean that too. Like, I mean that's a good example.
Well, even the president, as a role. Some presidents of some countries is corrupt, and he might not be a smart guy. He might have been born into it. So it just depends.
Yeah.
That's a hard question. It's such a simple word, like define smart, but I don't think you necessarily have to be smart to be a pharmacist.
I've been thinking a lot about that lately. Like, what does it mean to be smart?
Maybe an IQ test. Rakin posted an IQ thing on Instagram.
I don't want to take my IQ because I'm freaked out. Like, what if it... Like, because I don't even know like the IQ range, but once I sit down and look at the range, like I'd be like, okay, I think I'm here, and I take the IQ.
And Romer falls into like retarded range. He's
Dude,
like, no.
I would freak out. I'm huge on the placebo effect. I know how the placebo effect works. Like every time I fuck something up, I'd be like, oh, it's my IQ. That's why I fucked. Like, I don't want to. I know I can talk myself out of it.
You jinxed yourself with all the negative self-talk about it.
I can't do it now.
Yeah,
I find some way to make it negative.
I was considered gifted or whatever in elementary school, and they put me in like special schooling through elementary and middle school. So I guess you could say like IQ wise would be a metric, but still that I think is subjective because there could be people savant, very like smart in certain things, but like very stupid. It's socially stupid.
Right.
Fiscally stupid. Yeah. Like directionally stupid. Yeah. I bet since you've been driving around so much, you actually can read a paper map.
I can read a paper map.
Okay.
Me and Rakin were talking about this last night.
You can read a paper map. You don't have to follow GPS all the time. Like you can follow oral directions.
I can. I'm not the best with directions though. Like even in Nashville, I wasn't the best at finding my way around. I'm pretty good at looking at maps. But that's actually one of my weaknesses is directions. Like
I was going to say you're the roamer. You should be able to read a paper.
This is a bad habit that I would do is I would route to like San Francisco and I would just be driving, listening to a podcast. And I would always drive. Like I've done this like fucking 5 times. It pisses me off. I would drive downtown to whatever city I said I was going to go to. And I'd be like, oh shit, I didn't route the actual address. I just routed the city. So I was supposed to be going to like a friend's house in San Francisco, but instead I went like downtown San Francisco because I routed San Francisco. I've done that.
Oh no! And then you're in like the wrong part. It takes you 45 minutes to actually get to where you.
Yeah, I'm like smack dab in the center, whatever city I'm going to.
Here's like a weird association I have with being good at directions. And I think it was because I grew up with Nintendo 64, which was a 3D gaming platform. And I always was playing games. So you're following maps, you're in a 3D world, just like real life, and you don't have GPS. So that I think that has like this weird association with certain people that have this really good directional awareness. So maybe video gaming has some sort of like benefit on a human quality. Like I truly do think that.
I think for sure. Yeah. Like you definitely have to use a lot of your brain during video games. Like there was that stigma that video games were like for stupid people for a while. Like, oh, if you play video games all day, you're stupid. But it's like the opposite. Like those kids who are really good, like I guarantee if you did
map awareness, like spatial awareness for certain games, like you're always looking down at like a mini map, and it has to do with a lot of.
And then you got to be
spatial awareness.
You have to like know like what gun you're about to pull out of your pocket. You have to know like all these things at once. Like if you scan their brain, there'd be lots of areas active at once, and they're talking a lot of times now to their friends. Like, where are you? I'm over here. Blah blah blah. So they're able to figure a lot of shit out. Yeah, man. So. You said I had you as a garage sailor. That's what I put.
Yeah, you posted me as a garage sailor. I mean, I do garage sales, but garage sales is very seasonal in certain parts of the country, especially I'm in West Texas right now. So it's kind of seasonal, gets colder here. Florida is kind of year round, but I wouldn't label me as a garage sailor. I'd say Chris Bonafide's more of the garage sailor because he goes like religiously.
Yeah. You said pawn shopper was.
Yeah. I've been doing pawn shops about over the last 2 years, pretty hard, where I've gotten my skill level pretty fine tuned. Can I actually get into a story from today from the pawn shop?
Yeah,
something I've never done before. This is like achievement unlocked, like super high level, I think. But I went to a pawn shop. I bought a computer from the pawn shop while there was a customer there. And I sold that same computer to that customer later on in the day for a $250 profit.
So you bought it in front of him?
Yeah, I bought it in front of him.
And he knew the price you bought it for and everything?
I don't think he knew the price I bought it for, but I was chatting with him about I was actually trying to find a computer for him. I was like, that's a good one. Oh, wait, the pawn shop doesn't have the charger. That's a good one. Oh, wait, it's locked. Like that would be a good one, but they didn't have like all the things that wouldn't work for him. So I bought one. They had it listed for $350. I bought it for $150. Or no, they had it listed for $325. I bought it for $150. I wiped the OS, put a new operating system on it, cleared the password, and then sold it for $400 later in the day to the guy that was in the pawn shop. I was trying to help with the computer.
How'd you list it?
I just got the guy's phone number.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, wow. I slipped him my name and number and was like, "I'll hook you up. Don't worry about it."
Is that how you do a lot of your deals? You get
no. This is the first time.
Well, I'm saying like, do you like have like a list of people that you're like? Because I see you do it on Instagram. You'll post like, "Hey, I have this iPhone or something." Like
that's just open to the story. That's just open to the story. So anyone that sees the story can DM me.
Okay.
I don't really have like a buyer's list. No, I've been posting on Facebook Marketplace for the local stuff.
Okay. Nice. It just seems like such a hustle for me coming from books. Because with books, I like books because you can take a lot of books, put them in a pile. You can train someone else how to find the books. You can train someone else how to list the books. You can delegate it. It seems like with what you're doing, it's so niche that it's like it's almost more like you have to develop an eye, first of all, for the things you're finding. And then you're also having some skill involved. Like not everyone can do this. Yeah, I couldn't do what you're doing right now.
Steve's kind of done it with cameras at pawn shops in the past, which is it's literally like memorizing model numbers, processor types, like the technology that goes into the computers. And I haven't been doing this forever. I've always been able to like hustle computers for like friends and family to like find them deals, but I didn't really exploit it like on this level until about the last like even 6 months, I'd say. Like over the last 6 months, I've really fine-tuned this hustle. Like I've done books in the past. I haven't done it to your scale where I'm like buying Gaylords and scanning them out, but I've done one-off books, or I've done boxes at garage sales, like buy them out and done books.
Gotcha.
I've done like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were crazy on FBA in 2015. Like I was going to clear out Walmarts and Targets and doing buy one, get one half off. I was doing all that. I've done that hustle, but right now I'm like really enjoying the Facebook Marketplace computer hustle. It's like completely different. It's fun. And I had the skill. I just didn't know that it could be so profitable.
Right. So are there like gurus on YouTube teaching this? Are you one of the gurus?
No, there's no gurus on YouTube teaching this. I wouldn't say that I'm one of the gurus either, because I'm learning new stuff every day. I don't have a course. I don't have an ebook on it. I have a bunch of people asking me how I learned, and I just told them like I've just been tinkering with computers for like 10 years.
Would you ever make a course?
I don't think I can organize my mind enough for this, and I don't think somebody could follow it necessarily in their area to the T that I do it.
Gotcha.
Like I don't know if it's replicable in every market.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
I mean, it's yeah, it would be tough.
Because I'm doing local sales. So my local sales, I'm getting higher than eBay prices. And if I'm teaching something based on higher than eBay prices, it would be difficult if somebody was in somewhere where their local sales were crap and then they were equal to eBay prices and then their margins might be off. And it just might, I don't know.
Do you flip stuff from eBay to Facebook Marketplace much? Do you like look on eBay like, oh shit?
I'm exploring it. I've got some items I'm watching that are sleepers and would be if the market demands this. This like this certain model of MacBook that I've been looking at that has the features, even though it's aged, so it goes kind of cheap on eBay, but I could still probably flip it for $200 profit on Facebook Marketplace. I'm kind of exploring that right now.
Gotcha. So pawning is your thing right now.
It's been good about the last 6 months, really hard. But I've been doing the pawn shops. Even the pawn shops probably 6 to 8 years. I've been going in just buying one-offs, but not nearly on this scale. Like I have probably 20 computers around me that either need parts or operating systems or something, and then and they're in like the pipeline to get sold.
Gotcha. That just sounds like so much.
You're like, this is too much work. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Give me some barcodes to scan.
I know, right? I just want something to make decisions for me and to get someone else to do it. So I don't have to do anything. You live in your van.
I enjoy it though. So
yeah. I mean, I enjoy it. I think that's the problem with these apps for scanning books is like they make you addicted to the app. Because you go out, you're scanning, and it comes up with this super cool noise, like bling, and you know
I've heard that noise,
when you look at the phone, you know you're going to be making that much profit. So like it addicts you. It's like gambling.
Yeah,
you scan 20.
Really low risk gambling because it's like you don't have to buy anything, but if you do, you just like it's like you just scratched off a ticket and got a little bit of a dopamine.
Right, you're always risking your time. Like that's time you can't get back.
That's true. Yeah. You're always throwing your time in there. I'm thinking monetarily because I guess I don't value my time that much. I'm just chilling.
So you lived in your van. Were you doing shit like this?
So to the van story, I bought a van with intention to live in it while I was working a pharmacy contract because we were talking earlier before you went live about the Page, Arizona. You've been there. You didn't know you were there, but you've been there. And the housing there is actually really difficult to get. Like there's no apartment complexes you can go rent from. Hotels would have been too expensive.
TPs
TP Airbnb is $100 a night. They actually have them. They got Hogan. Actually, they're Hogan Airbnbs, but they're like $100 a night. So I built out the van so I could sleep in it at least while I'm looking for housing to like. Because Craigslist, there's no Craigslist for that place. It's too small. So I was going to sleep in the van while I'm looking for housing or sleep in the van indefinitely. So during that contract, so basically I drove from Florida to Arizona and slept along the way. And then
did you pimp it out enough to where it was like super comfortable?
It was a twin bed. I mean, a twin mattress is probably very comfortable compared to a Corolla.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you already got me on that one.
Yeah, I had some really good nights sleeping there, and it's just so simple. So simple. Like you go to bed, you read a book, you're tired, and you sleep, and then you wake up and you're like recharged, ready to go. It just
were you staying at rest stops, Walmart parking lot?
During that travel, probably from there to Arizona, it was probably rest stops just during the travel. But when I actually got to Page while I was working, I was staying at the Walmart. I stayed at the Walmart from March until July, or either March or April, May, June, July. So 3-ish months. So that's like 90 something days in Page at the Walmart parking lot.
We might have stayed at the same Walmart parking lot.
Yeah, there's only one Walmart in Page. It's on the left-hand side when you're coming into the city.
I forgot. I don't even know where.
Ton of RVs there. There's like RVs all over the place.
I actually am remembering now. There was a bunch of RVs near the Horseshoe Bend, not too far from it, where people. I slept in a lot of the Horseshoe Bend.
You're not supposed to do that, but they would kick you out for that now. It's a lot more regulated. They're charging money for it now. You probably went when it was free.
Yeah, I did go. I didn't pay anything.
Yeah, they're charging for it now. It's a huge tourist spot.
I don't know if it's a seasonal thing or not.
No, it's all paid now. It's all regulated and paid, and they're people dying people dying in the parking lot, getting run over by like Chinese tour bus vans or Chinese tour buses.
Wait, people dying
in the parking lot? Yes.
How?
When I was there, I don't know. They bend over to tie their shoe and they get run over by a car.
What the fuck?
2 people died while I was in Page working. 1 fell off Horseshoe Bend, which happens once or twice a year, because you've seen how sketch that place is.
Sketch.
Yeah, and there's a million people if you go at the wrong time, bumping into you, and they could knock you off. Or the parking lot's crazy, and 1 lady got ran over in the parking lot, and then 1 person fell off when I was there.
Holy shit! Yeah. Wait. So is a parking lot thing that happens? You said that happens regularly, or that one?
I don't know if the parking lot thing was crazy, but it's regulated now. Now there's like parking spaces for buses, like turnarounds for RVs. They don't let you sleep there. They charge you to go in. It's like way more built up. They have squatter composting toilets on the outside, and yeah, it's a lot more built up now.
Gotcha.
You went when it was still kind of pure. Now it's just a moneymaker.
Yeah. I remember driving. It was just like I was in the Navajo territory, I think, and I just there was like little houses. I don't think I saw any teepees, but there's like little houses.
They don't use teepees as Plains Indian, not even Navajo.
Okay. Yeah, they do the bricks, don't they?
They do hogans, they call them, which are like the octagon. I think they're octagon. They're made out of mud. Okay. The original like hogans are like that, but now they all live in either manufactured homes, built homes, or trailers or whatever.
Yeah, I saw a bunch of trailer homes, and I was like, "Wow, I'm in the middle of nowhere."
If you go to Hopi land, which is still on that piece of Navajo Nation like reservation, the Hopi buildings are like clay and pretty cool looking.
I went to the Chaco buildings, New Mexico.
Oh, you went to Chaco? Oh yeah. So yeah, those kind of like look like the Hopi ones.
Gotcha.
The mud bricks and stuff.
But yeah,
Chaco Canyon. Dude, you've been to a lot of places. Out west is rad, man.
Well, that's why I lived in my car for a while. I lived in my car so I could go see those places. Yeah. So were you traveling much in your van, or did you
every weekend? I was working 5 days a week. So on the weekends, I'd go to the Grand Canyon. I'd go to Bryce Canyon. I'd go wherever, do hikes.
Did you have kids at the time?
No, still no kids. Okay. Yeah.
Wait, you don't have kids now?
No kids.
Oh, okay.
No kids, no pets. But I am married.
Okay, gotcha. Were you married at the time?
No.
Okay.
Were we married when I was working in Page? Yes, honey. I was married, sorry.
That's funny. So no crazy Bumble Tinder stories.
No. No.
So yeah.
Is anyone in the chat? Like, is this live? Is anyone watching?
Yeah, well, YouTube like did something weird to me where I went live like 3 times back to back yesterday, and it like hides my video now.
Oh, really? Yeah. They're like, you spam your subscribers, so we're not going to show your.
Went live with Caleb the other day. We had like 40 people in here, but ever since it's been like 2 people watching. It's probably Rakin watching right now.
Thanks for watching, Steve.
But
where else have you traveled to out west? Chaco, Page.
Yeah, I went to Chaco.
Zion.
I went to Zion, and then I went to in California. I went to Death Valley. Is it the Mojave Desert?
I'm not familiar with. I haven't done a lot of California exploration.
Okay. There's Slab City. It's like this. There's like a bunch of trailer parks or a bunch of trailer homes.
Is that the graffiti place?
There is a lot of graffiti there. There's a lot of art, but what stood out more to me was you could just go there and you could just build, like you get 2x4s and build like a little structure and you can fucking live there. There's like no rules. It's like the last free space.
I got to look up Slab City. I think I know what that is. Is that the one that has like a big cross and?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
They call that, Salvation Mountain. So my friend was like, let's go to Salvation Mountain. I was like, all right, let's go. And I'm in California.
Okay. Yeah, I still have never been there. I see that all over Instagram.
I thought we were gonna go somewhere like Yosemite, like a huge mountain. He's like, yeah, we're gonna go to Salvation Mountain, and we go there. I'm like, this is like, I mean, this is awesome. But
yeah. Okay. This is the picture I've always seen. Is like that place.
Yeah. It's a bunch of it's clay on top of a hay, and it's got like paint on the outside of it. We actually slept there. We set up a tent, and there was this hot spring, and it's trippy being there, man. It's like it's a bunch of homeless people that they set up wherever they want to, but they're like more like anarchists. You get
yeah, they're like hippie homeless, not like stinky homeless. I mean, they're probably still stinky, but
you have the stinky homeless ones too. It's an interesting place.
Yeah, I haven't been there, but I always see it on Instagram and like vlogs and stuff.
I did a giant U around America, so I went all the way to California, worked my way up. And then I worked my way back around through Minnesota and back down to Nashville.
Yeah, I don't spend a lot of time like Northeast or the East Coast other than Florida. It's like I've spent so much time out west, Navajo Reservation, Utah, Arizona, New Mexico, and then now Texas and Florida is kind of where I've concentrated a lot of my U.S. travel.
Gotcha. As far as internationally goes, where have you been?
Internationally, I've been to Vietnam. I went to Vietnam when I was 15 for like a month and a half with a friend of mine, and got to stay with like a Vietnamese family and stuff, which was really cool. And I actually think that had a big impact on like my cultural acceptance of like foods and everything. I went to Costa Rica for a study abroad when I was in college for
You speak Spanish?
Yeah. I speak enough, like where's the toilet and everything. And I used to actually be able to hold my own a lot better than I can now, just because I don't use it. No se usa, se perdida. So if you don't use it, you lose it.
Okay.
So I did that. So I've actually taken
salsa dancing. Like so many people think I know Spanish now.
Yeah, I assumed you were like super into the language and culture and women just based off of the dancing.
I'm into the women and I'm into the culture and I'm into that.
Dude, that means you have to like start doing.
Yeah, I will.
Duolingo. If you were able to roam through South America, Central America, and pick up like Spanish classes, that's where you need to do it, is just practice. And living there for a month, like it excelled so much because I had the foundation. I just never had to practice. So I still have the foundation. I just don't practice. So it's very weak. I can read and write better than I can speak because I don't have those like neurons built again anymore. And I really don't. I don't know. I don't have a lot of the cultural influence in my life. Like I don't watch novellas. I don't read in Spanish anymore. I don't go anywhere that's in Central or South America.
I listen to a lot of the music. So
yeah, I love reggaeton and I like bachata and I like salsa and I love Aventura and the music is great, but my wife's not really into it. So I don't really get to listen to it.
Did you dance at all when you were down there?
I'm not a dancer. No.
You didn't even do like a little white boy
reggaeton. I'm trying to think, but we went to the clubs a couple times, but I've never been into salsaing. I have a Cuban friend who's really big into it and has like tried to do like classes and stuff with me, but just no rhythm, man. White boy, no rhythm. You know, it's hard to get over. It takes a lot to break that wall down.
I'm still breaking it down. It still tries to come back at me sometimes. I'm like,
yeah. So I'm on Costa Rica still. Where else? After Costa Rica, I think I went to Peru also when I was in college, a study abroad when I was in pharmacy school. I've been back to Costa Rica. I went to Thailand when my wife was working there. So I stayed in Thailand for like 3 months. And then we went to Bali for a couple weeks, which is in Indonesia. I've been to Japan, which I stayed there for about 50 days, just under 2 months. And Costa Rica a couple more times, I think, in there. Oh yeah, and Dubai. She was working in Dubai, so I went to Dubai for a month.
Nice.
And then I've had whatever experiences in the airports where you fly. So I guess I've been to Korea since I've been to Seoul Airport.
That doesn't count.
Yeah.
What advice would you have for people who never have traveled before?
I gave Steve this advice. He finally took it. He got his passport. Get your freaking passport. It is one of the most powerful documents in the world.
Give me a second. I'm such a bad podcaster. My laptop's about to die. I'm going to grab my charger.
So I'm just going to rant to your people. Get your passport. It's step 1, 2, 3, 4. You get a picture. You pay a fee. You get the documents. All you have to do is apply for it. You're allowed to have it as a U.S. citizen, and that document allows you entry into many countries for free, no visas, and it like gives you so much power by having that passport.
So when people get a passport, would you recommend like they schedule something? Because most people, the thing they do is they say like, I'm going to save up, I'm going to save up, I'm going to save up.
It's not that expensive. Like, I don't know, maybe, do you know how much it is to get the passport? Oh, is it $290?
I'm saying to travel like internationally. People like save up for years and then they
okay. Well,
like a big
passport's step number one, because if you don't have the documents, you can't legally travel. So get that passport. Steve just did it. He should know exactly how much it was, but
I did it too. I overpaid for it because I
expedited it, right?
Yeah, I expedited it for Mexico. I paid probably like, I think you only have to pay like $250 total, like if that. I think it's like $150.
Yeah. There's like apps now to take your picture, so you don't even have to like necessarily pay for the $10 picture. You could do the picture.
Super white background though, because I was like, I was in a Starbucks at the time, and they were like, "You need a white background." I tried going in the bathroom. I was like, "It's not white enough." I went to some dude's van outside, get a white van, taking a picture next to it.
That's hilarious.
Like, the algorithm just instantly denied it.
That's hilarious. So get your passport. Figure out where you want to go. Like what things you really, really like to do here, and try to maybe. But then again, like if you're staying in that comfort zone of doing things that you really like, then you might miss out on something you wouldn't know you would have liked. So I don't know. There's you got to get your feet wet, and once you get your feet wet and you understand like you can travel to places that don't speak English, you can survive and not die. You can like order from a restaurant without speaking the language. Maybe go with a group of like 3-4 people, or even just a buddy or something, and that will break down the barrier of like that you can't do it just by going once, and then eventually I think you'll build up the confidence to just go.
What's the craziest thing you've seen in your travels? Like
gosh,
situation that just like what's the craziest thing, and what's the situation that made you the most uncomfortable?
I don't even know. I can't even think of one that's like crazy. Like I can't think. Oh, actually, when I was in Japan, we were having like, I was riding my bike. That the whole Japan trip was like mostly me riding my bike around Japan, and we were having tensions with North Korea at the time. It was like the worst when Trump was saying like Rocket Man, and people were saying we're going to go to war with North Korea, and the missile alarms in Japan like went off, like the alarms, whatever it sounded like, emergency missile alarms, and I was just like freaking out.
Damn, you're just like, Trump, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I didn't know if there was like going to be a missile coming over my head or what, because it sounded like Pearl Harbor or something.
Dang,
like those alarms where they're like cranking it, trying to tell everyone like we're getting attacked. It was like that.
Yeah, that's insane.
That's the only thing I can think of at the moment.
I've only been in North America. Like one of my goals is like I really want to get uncomfortable. Like I want to be in a third world country and really feel uncomfortable. But
what part of Mexico were you in?
I was in Mexico City. And
super Americanized?
I wouldn't even say Americanized, but it was progressive. And
okay. So it was like caters to tourists where everyone can speak English.
Yeah, it was just such a huge city. It was just like, it was kind of like not in LA, but maybe like a section of New York City. But it's like, I think it's bigger than New York City. It's the biggest city in North America.
Really? Yeah, I haven't traveled much to Mexico, only to like Juarez once.
So I guess my perception of Mexico was different, and I wanted to be like put in a situation. Like, I didn't want to obviously die, but I wanted to be like, holy shit, like culture shock. That's what I wanted, and it wasn't really a culture shock. I saw like
maybe backcountry, like super backcountry, Mexico.
Yeah,
I mean, you see crazy stuff like in Asia where people like stack up a bunch of stuff like on the back of a scooter or a bicycle, when you're just like, whoa, like that's crazy. Like you'd never see that in America.
Did you have any like culture shock moments? I mean, maybe it's just like personalities. Some personalities can't get culture shocked. Because you're pretty open.
Yeah. The traffic when I went to Vietnam when I was 15, I was like, whoa, this is way different. But that was also my first time traveling out of the country. It was scooters, because their base, like, okay, America, our base vehicle is like a 4-door car, right? Like that's That's like the base. Most people have like a 4-door car. Well, when you go to Asia, most people have a 2-wheeled scooter. Like that's their base vehicle. So when you see like a sea of traffic with 2-wheeled scooters instead of 4-door cars, it's like insane.
Yeah.
To me, it was like a way different. People running through red lights, and it's kind of like that in Thailand. But Thailand has more cars than it did when I went to Vietnam. It was like 2004, I think, and that was like a long time ago. I think even before like an economic increase in Vietnam, because they might have more cars over there now, but most of the I don't want to say poorer countries, because to them maybe the cost of living is lower, so the incomes are lower, so it's kind of balances more so than comparing it to like an American income. But these other countries, different countries, they'll have different transportation systems, like scooters, for instance, because they're cheaper, like a base Honda scooter versus like a Corolla. It's a huge difference in cost.
Yeah, we were gonna get some scooters here in Miami. A lot of people have them.
Nice.
Like the really small scooter. I'm sure you're talking about the electrics or the.
No. I'm talking about like gas,
Gotcha.
clutch. Like these are mopeds, like basically.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
We want to get some like little lift scooters.
You want to get the electric? Yeah, electric scooters were not a thing in 2004. They were all gas, and you can smell like how much gas is in the air when you get into did Mexico City smell like that? Like a lot of diesel in the air? Did it have a different smell?
I didn't notice. No.
Okay, maybe they don't use diesel there, but like you can smell like polluted cities. They smell a little bit different. Like Lima had a smell. Lima, Peru had a different smell. Bangkok has a different smell. Vietnam, Saigon had a different smell. Japan, not so much. The pollution wasn't there. But yeah, you can like there's this different distinct smell.
Yeah. So on your Instagram, when you post, like, because I mean, I think I get a gist of like who your audience is, but you post a lot about these different printers and like devices, and it seems like these are for like eBay type sellers.
Amazon too. I mean, you guys don't you FBA SKU stuff?
Yeah.
But you use the Dymo 450.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah. So I mean,
I wish I would have started following you earlier.
Has the 450 given you problems though?
The Dymos give us problems like occasionally. I'm not sure if they give us any more problems than any other printer would give us, but like you said, they're overpriced.
The 450, not so much, because that one's only like $60. But
is it only 60?
Yeah, it's 60, 65. I mean, Dymo, they fluctuate. So it'll be on
the 4XL is like
4XL is the one that's overpriced. That's the one that I have a problem with, is they should be charging closer to like 125 for what they offer in that printer. And they charge anywhere from like 179 to 300, depending on where you go. Like if you go to Staples and try to buy one, it's like $300, which is terrible.
Yeah.
And
we have like 3 of them for my listers. So like they're in our manuals, they're in our troubleshooting documents. So I just don't want to change it.
Oh, gotcha. So it's it's already in your systems.
Yeah. And like now I'm making the book selling course, and I'm like, what printer am I going to recommend? And it's like, recommend the one I know, you know?
Yeah. The only thing with those is they're popular because everyone started using them, but they actually are poorly designed. The way that they're designed has sensors that can get clogged with adhesive, and that's probably the issue you've had for high volume sellers. High volume sellers are going to experience this more than somebody that just sells the occasional whatever and has to print out the occasional label, because they're not doing the volume. Obviously, it's going to be a statistic of how often it fails. And when it fails hard, because if that sensor gets adhesive in it, it is a bear to get out, if you can even get it out.
Dude, I went hard on. I got credit cards. I was getting the glue on. They make it so you can't take it apart. You can't take that part. There's like a little lip.
It's a design flaw. It's totally a design flaw. And unless
if it gets stuck in there, you can't get it out. You can't take it apart.
It's terrible.
You have to get a credit card or something.
And you see it. And I tell people this, but people are like, "Oh, my Dymo's never given me problems." And I say, that's okay. Like, I really hope it doesn't. But if you're a high volume seller, most people have experienced the problem. And there's printers out there that don't have that flaw. Like,
gotcha.
I have one right next to me. I can show you just in quick printer speak. Like, okay, so jam. If you could just open it up like that, how much easier would it be to fix a jam? It's like it's open.
Yeah.
That's it. The Dymo, to get the stuff out, the way that it rolls like under stuff, it's poorly designed. And I don't know. There's just better stuff out there. I've had my hands on, I don't know, 15 probably different thermal printers and figured out which ones are good and which ones are bad. And there are certain applications where ones are better than others. And it depends if you're using, I always ask people this, like, are you using an Android phone? Are you using an iPhone? Like, how is your business run? Like, I try to recommend a printer based on their system.
Wait, people use phones with their printers?
Oh, yeah. I print my eBay labels from my phone. My wife prints the Poshmark labels from her iPad when I had a different printer, but I actually traded that printer for a MacBook because somebody wanted the printer. And I haven't bought another one yet because I have so many printers around me.
Interesting.
But yeah, you can print shipping labels from the phones. You can print shipping labels from iPads. It just totally depends on.
Can you do that with Dymos too?
No, that's the thing. You can't do it with a Dymo. It depends on the languages that the printers can read. It depends on the languages that they're written in. It depends on.
And is it like Wi-Fi? You just
depends on the printer. The one I just showed you is not Wi-Fi. This is not Wi-Fi. It uses a USB in the back, but it works with Android. I can use a USB-C to regular USB connector. I plug this into my phone and I get printing capabilities from it. Is that advertised on their website, on their Amazon listing? No, but I figured out and it works.
Nice. So your name's The College Picker. Why'd you choose that name?
Because back in college was when I started doing the whole like flipping stuff, and everyone had a name like with picker back then.
Gotcha.
There was like redneck picker, Yankee picker. There was a lot of vintage pickers.
So if there's lots of people in college watching, if you were in college and you're about to graduate and you wanted to not have a job, you wanted to make money doing something that could allow you to travel, doing something that would give you freedom, or maybe just some extra money to where you didn't have to work all the time, from being in the reselling community, from the knowledge you have, what would you recommend they get into?
So are they working what they went to school for or no?
They're just about to graduate college, let's say.
Okay.
And
well, I hope that they went to school for like a trade or healthcare, because lawyer, engineer, healthcare, or like some sort of trade, I think are like the only degrees worth even pursuing. Everything else is pretty much a waste of time and money. So I really hope that they went to school for something like that. Not to say that you're not going to meet certain people in college or like have a great experience, but for the most part, like the whole college is a scam thing, are people that didn't get any of those degrees for the most part. But so I would say to them, if they want to start a side hustle reselling, what are they good at? What do they enjoy? And to gravitate towards that and to start selling that kind of stuff on eBay. Because I think that's like the easiest place to start.
Gotcha.
I think Amazon is like, it's data driven, but you have to enjoy data, I guess, and that dopamine from the phone noise, and have access to the books and have a place to process it. But eBay is, I think, a little bit more accessible to like anybody. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. They have to know something's worth flipping.
Yeah. And that would be where, okay, I grew up like playing vintage video games, so I know a lot more about vintage video games than the common man, and I would try to use that knowledge to my advantage. Or I grew up fixing people's computers, and I don't know, like I would always fix people's computers in school if they had a problem with their phone, or even phones, like phone screens or whatever. I don't know. You really have you have to kind of niche down and then figure out what you like and then kind of go from there, I think. And that's only one way to do it. There's multiple ways to do it. There's some people that say that like cast a wide net and figure it out. But
what do you like someone just doing eBay, if they really niche down and found something that they're good at flipping, how much do you think they can make a year? Like what? Oh,
6 figures on eBay is stretching it for like the average person. If you're trying to clear 6, like that's a far stretch for just like side hustle, a casual, eBay, or like I don't even pull that on eBay, and I do pretty good on eBay sales, but you have to like be on it like really, really good to pull 6 figures with yourself or with a team. Like with
6 figures profit or
like 6 figures profit. I mean, even 6 figure sales, if you're thrifting or picking secondhand items, your usually cost of goods are pretty low. So your profits are pretty close to your gross sales if you're getting your cost of goods really low. But to pull that like with one person is very difficult. With 2 people, it's still pretty difficult. And it always depends on where you are too. Like some people don't have access to that inventory.
Right.
Closer to like 30 to 50K side hustle, I think it's like a lot more attainable for most people. And then an extra $10,000 a year is like easily attainable for anybody.
Gotcha.
If that puts it in any perspective. And that's just my opinion. That's not like fact. That's just like from what I've seen. Some people crush it like Renzi on Instagram. They're shoe sellers and they absolutely crush it with shoes. But they have like the storage and the system, and like my wife would kill me if I brought home 1 million pairs of shoes. I would get dead.
Yeah.
But she's okay with the laptops, and we're doing pretty good with the laptops right now.
She like laptops too?
She just likes it because they're like small, square, can be stacked, can be like put into a filing cabinet.
Yeah.
Can be put under a bed.
I like about books. That's what the first thing I ever tried to flip was a couch. Like I got one item in my inventory, and I was living at my parents' house at the time, and my dad was like, "Nah, you got to get this out."
The couch. I have never flipped a couch. I haven't.
I ended up. My dad was like, "Get this out of the house."
We started ironically with motorcycles, but I've never flipped a couch.
It's just it's like, how are you going to build your inventory up? Are you going to get 100 couches? Like you can get 100 books easily.
Yeah. You learned that lesson hard, quick.
Yeah. And so he made me give it back to Goodwill, the Goodwill that I bought it from. And then someone messaged me. They were like, "Hey, like I want to buy it because I posted on Craigslist because I forgot to take the posting down." And they wanted to buy it for $50. I was like, "It's at the Goodwill down the road if you want to go get it."
So what was this couch like? Was it cloth? Was it leather?
It was a vintage couch. So I was like, I thought it was going to sell for a lot.
And what was your plan? Flip it on Facebook Marketplace?
Craigslist. I don't even know if I knew about Facebook Marketplace.
Dude, Craigslist is dying. That's the thing. I started on Craigslist, like buying motorcycles off of Craigslist and then selling them back on Craigslist. But Craigslist is like dying.
Craigslist is interesting because it's got such a shitty user interface.
Yeah.
But it's gotten like for whatever reason, it just got so big.
Back in the day. Well, there's nothing else back in the day.
Gotcha.
Yeah, back in the day, that was where you went. There was no Craigslist was pre-social media, so that's where you went. That's
where people used to hook up on Craigslist.
People used to hook up on Craigslist. Classified ads in newspapers was before Craigslist. That's where people used to post stuff. Classified ads. Craigslist came along, started putting classified ads out of business. Who looks on classified ads in newspapers anymore? Nobody. Craigslist was like the king. It was simple. It was where people went to look for apartments, to look for jobs, to look for stuff. And there was some spam, but they had a pretty good system in place to kind of try to mitigate fake stuff and to kind of anonymize your phone number and your email address. So it was fairly safe. I know people have been murdered off of Craigslist, but it was fairly safe. And then social media came along. As soon as Facebook Marketplace, OfferUp, and LetGo came out, like they took what needed to be put onto a phone, what Craigslist like could not deliver, and they kind of are like putting Craigslist on the lifeline. Like they're on a respirator.
What Facebook has going for them is you can identify someone. Facebook says, so-and-so has had a Facebook profile for 8 years. You can see they're legit. You can see their profile picture.
Exactly.
Craigslist doesn't have that.
Yeah.
So Facebook was like the perfect platform to compete.
And even LetGo and OfferUp doesn't have that. So that's what Facebook has going for them. And that's why when anyone asks me on Instagram, like, what do you think about LetGo, Facebook, or OfferUp? And then that's what I tell them. I said, Facebook has the user base. They have the engineers behind it to improve it. They have the money. They're a publicly traded stock company, and they have that like safety trust feature of the face and the profile age that people trust. And that's and the ding, like the messaging on Facebook, it just, for whatever reason, you could like turn your notifications off, but the freaking ding always seems to pop up. But if it LetGo and OfferUp, their notifications don't necessarily push as hard as Facebook.
Okay. That's interesting. You know Ty Lopez?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about Ty Lopez?
I think he sells information that, and is a good marketer. I don't know anything about his information.
A lot of people just hate him, but I remember one time he made a video and he was like, you know how he is, like he's always like got his fucking mansion behind him and a bunch of books, but he was like, I turn off all the notifications on my phone. He pulled his phone out and he showed like he has no notifications. He's like, any entrepreneur should do that. And after that day, I turned all of them off.
Yeah, so silent mode, man. If you have an Android, I'm almost always on silent mode. I
get Bumble notifications right now and regular text messages. That's it. Nothing else.
Bumble's got the clearance.
Yeah, for now. Dating apps aren't great, man. You're lucky you're married.
Yeah. We were pre-social media. So no, we were MySpace, I think. Weren't we MySpace? MySpace social media, yeah. But back in flip phone time, what phone did I have? I think I had like a Nokia.
Are people flipping phones now?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But I mean, like flip phones.
Oh, flip phones. Are flipping phones coming back? Yeah, flip phones. They've developed a foldable glass, which is actually just like a plastic LCD. But yeah, Razer came out with one, and I mean Motorola came out with a touchscreen Razer, which is flippable, and then I think Samsung came out with one. And will they go anywhere? I don't know, but it's kind of cool. Cool tech. I like the flip phones. It's kind of something to do. I like the Motorola Razer.
Yeah, I used to have the sliding phones. They get all fucked up if you got sand in them. The ones that
yeah. Well, any phone will do that if you throw it in a friggin' sand pit.
I mean, the thing about the iPhone is it doesn't have too many holes. It does have that hole you can screw up though.
Yeah.
Look at this. Check this out. You see that? Just a side.
What happened? You drop it?
Yeah, I dropped it in a sauna.
Is it under warranty?
Yeah. Well, I have insurance on it though.
Oh, dude, make an insurance claim. The phones are supposed to have a certain amount of waterproofing to begin with, and then if it just dropped it and doesn't have a lot of physical damage to it, like I would just try to make an insurance claim. And if it didn't crack the screen, like it shouldn't break the phone. I don't know.
You think it's like $200 to replace?
That's what they said?
Yeah.
That's like one textbook. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I know.
2 textbooks. I don't know.
Now people aren't buying textbooks now.
All the homeschool kids, none of them want textbooks. I guess everything's online now.
Yeah. Well, May's about to be around the corner, so hopefully this whole thing will clear up.
Yeah.
So as far as building like a social audience on Instagram, and I guess YouTube's what you did first, because you really didn't work hard for Instagram, I guess, because you said it just organically came about.
I mean the first 2,000 people I didn't do anything for. I posted some pictures. I didn't understand how Instagram works. Now I have a feeling how Instagram works. Okay,
so let's focus this question towards YouTube. How do you build a big YouTube channel? What do you do?
I don't have a big YouTube channel, so that's not a good question for me.
Wait, how many subscribers do you have?
Let me check. I think it's like 20 something.
Oh, that's pretty good. I mean, that's not huge, but
yeah, it's not a big. I have 21.5. It's not a big YouTube.
Videos that did pretty well, right? Like 60,000 or something.
My most is I think 600,000.
Regardless,
I'll have a 1 million birthday cake for YouTube or something.
Imagine walking in a room of 20,000 people.
Yeah, that's the mentality I have to use on my videos when I only get 200 views, because I think of like a room of 200 people watching the video.
That'd be ridiculous.
Yeah.
And out of those 200 people, let's be real, probably 40% of the people watch the whole video, maybe 30%. That's still insane. It's 60 people.
You have to have that. You have to have that mentality. And if I had that, how old are you? Like 23?
24.
Oh, dude, if I had that mentality at 24, I'd be like 10 years ahead of where I am right now, because I didn't have that.
Gotcha.
That was like within the last 3 years, I probably thought of that.
Let me ask you, how many people watch your Instagram story?
It depends. Some days are less than others. I think I peaked at 2,700.
Nice.
But I averaged between like 2,000 to like 2,500.
That's solid.
For 12.5 thousand followers.
Too.
Dude, that profile picture is so old too. Which is crazy. It's like
it just like stands out.
I had my mom take a picture of me with all these Nerf guns like years ago, and then it was a background of her room, and I eventually like took it out and then just had the Nerf guns and just had it ever since.
Regardless, you have how many? You have 11,000 people, 12,000. How many people do you have on
Instagram? 12,500.
And you were just at like you just hit 10 recently. You just cracked 10 not too long ago.
Yeah, I think December, either November or December.
So you're qualified for this. Stop being humble. What advice do you have for people to build a social following?
Okay, I've actually put a lot of thought into Instagram, so I do have advice for people that are trying to build their Instagram. First thing you need to do is make a spread. You have to have your pictures that it has to be kind of clean. And this is just advice. This is not saying this is the only way to do it, but you have to have a clean spread of like an idea of what people are going to get. Like you can't just start building without any pictures, right? You have to have a spread. The album. You got to have an album with at least 20 pictures that are clean, that kind of tell people what they're getting themselves into. If it's going to be like travel, you're not going to be like a bunch of travel pictures and then like a bunch of books.
Mark's been coming in hard with all these comments. He said, yes, sweet profile.
I'm not even in the chat. I feel terrible. I should open up the chat so I can see people. But thanks, Mark. So you got to get your spread so people know what they're signing up for, right? It's kind of similar to a Bumble profile. You got to put some thought into it. You want people to see what you're about with the like least amount of effort. So I'm kind of about flipping. So I got pictures of like hats. I've got pictures of electronics, and I do some giveaways. I got some giveaways.
Yeah, you're good with that.
So I try to have a couple of clean pictures to show people, okay, it's professional. It's kind of what I'm doing. And then after you have your album, you don't have to have a ton because no one's going to, they're only going to see like the first, how many first ones do you see like when you're in somebody's profile? You only see 3, and then you're going to get like one person maybe to do that. So you need to have those to be kind of what you're about. And I think yours is already like that. Like it tells you what you're about. So when people have no pictures and they're expecting people to follow them.
Dude, I post so much. So it's always changing.
I'm not good about those posts. I focus more on stories now, which I learned from Snapchat because I was big on Snapchat for a while, just with my friends and family, like making funny stuff. But there's no search on Snapchat. So I took it all to Instagram. I was like, there's no point in me doing this all on Snapchat when Instagram's the same thing now because they came out with stories. So I switched
search.
On Snapchat. There's no hashtags or anything, right? Like there's no searchability. At least there wasn't when I was on it. Maybe there is now, but there wasn't then.
They have the map. You can zoom out on the map. So it was my theory for a while. I was always gonna like, you can do something to where like if you like that's how you get videos to go viral on Snapchat. Like if you're downtown Miami, you go to like the red zone or whatever. And if you make like the best video like downtown Miami, like some girl throwing up, it's likely to push that to everyone else.
Oh, like, yes. Now I remember. So Snapchat had like geolocations for stories in certain areas. Yeah.
That was like the only way of.
That was the only way to get like organic traffic. But still, people there are searching for entertainment. They're not searching for people to follow. Right. They're just like, what's going on here? They're not like, Instagram's more of like, I think searchable than Snapchat as a whole. That's why I started focusing on Instagram. So you got your spread. You're going to want to engage with people that are in your niche. You're going to want to tag them, DM them with thoughtful questions, not just like, hey, how do I get started? Or I don't know. Like all questions are good, but you want the more thoughtful the question is, I think I always am more like, wow, this person really like thought out this question. Like I'm going to prioritize them when I answer it. Yeah. So you start reaching out as a creator to other creators, maybe in a similar following. Maybe you reach out to like the people in like the 1,000 or the 5,000 following. If you're at like 200 to 300 followers and you're trying to get like climb up. So you're going to want to like tag and like make these people laugh. You're going to want to engage with, it's all about engagement. You're providing some sort of value to these other creators. If you want to get a shout out, like you got to make them laugh with something or really do something very thoughtful and try to engage with them, because those shout outs are going to get people that are already in that niche to see your name. So that's one thing that I figured out that other people are doing. I don't think I really like had a plan to do it, but I've like just engaged with people and I've noticed like that has happened.
Yeah.
So other people in my niche have been like, oh, this guy's funny, or he's got really good stories. So they started like shouting me out. I was like, oh, cool.
Instagram now has like the mentions, like when you log in, it tells you how many people mentioned you. And I think that's a great metric to
Yeah, it is. That totally is, because it's like how many people are like talking about you and mentioning you in stories. So from ground zero, start trying to talk to people. And the main thing is you just have to start trying to add value, like in some sort of way or fashion. I try to add value with stories. My actual posts like aren't that valuable. It's kind of, I use the posts for comment generators for giveaways for the most part, but try to add value in some sort of way.
People love the free giveaways, man.
Oh yeah, the Gucci purse I think was the freaking craziest one. That was 10,000 subscribers. Go to the Gucci purse one.
How far down is it?
You're like, how far? How much work do I have to do? It's not that far because I don't. It's the sixth post.
Okay, okay, I see it. Wow.
Yeah, the engagement on that one's insane. People love Gucci purses. That's what I learned from it. That was my 10,000 giveaway. It was a purse worth about $400, something like that.
I bet your female following ratio is pretty high.
That's the thing is I actually get more female followers on Instagram than I do on YouTube by a long shot.
What's your, do you know what your ratio is?
It's like 54 or 55 female, something like that.
Yeah, the clothing guys, they have more female followers. They have like 60% men on Instagram and then 90% men on YouTube.
Yeah, I think I have like 75% guys watching me on YouTube and then most women watching me on Instagram.
For YouTube, because I think YouTube's already 90% guys. So I think that's actually the metric. I think it's like 90% of users on YouTube are men, something like that.
So back to Instagram following. There's a theory that blue pictures like do better.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Blue, also like engaging on other people's posts, giving other people likes. I don't do this, but some people do it. They do follow and then they unfollow later. Yeah. I don't think that's one of the most ethical ways to do it, but some people have done it in the past that I know.
Well, out of all the people, I honestly think your Instagram probably has like top 5% out of everybody I follow, like engagement wise. Like it's what you would expect for someone with 12,000 followers. Whereas like a lot of these people have like tens of thousands of followers, but like very little engagement.
Yeah, and they might have bought them. They might have done the whole automated follow, unfollow hashtag thing where you buy a program that will follow a hashtag and then it will like all the pictures for you and then it will follow all the followers for you and then unfollow later. But that's all just like gray hat, black hat stuff. It's not organic. The most organic way to do it is literally just you have to spend time on the app engaging with people.
So what is your goal with social media?
That's a good question. I haven't even like thought of that.
I want an answer for that. What's the biggest thing you've gotten so far from social media? What's been the most ROI?
Like monetary towards me, or just like helping? The feeling of helping somebody to me is great. Yeah, just what I really want to be is a source where people can come to me and trust me for electronics, and somehow to scale that.
Okay. Scaling that as in like the 30 to 50,000 mark.
What do you mean?
Time. As far as scaling, what do you mean by scaling? Like
scale it to more than what I'm doing right now, I guess. Oh,
you're saying scale it for yourself.
Yeah, we'll scale it to like, because for me right now, I can only do as much as I'm doing. Like I want to be able to, because it's crazy, dude. People trust me on Instagram. I've had people Venmo me. I've had someone Venmo me $660 today. I've actually met her before, but I've had people that have never met me Venmo me like $850.
Yeah,
$1,000. It's crazy. Like it blows my mind, but they trust me, and I'm not going to screw them over.
Like I've learned about this in psychology. Like people, you can look at someone's face and you can tell a lot about them just from looking at their face.
Really?
Yeah. Like I could show you different. I could show you different faces of people, and you could tell me I trust him, I don't trust him, I trust her, I don't trust her. But when you can see someone talk and you see what they're doing on Instagram, that's another level of trust. And then when you can go through their posts, like the free giveaway free giveaways you're doing, and they see how much engagement are on those posts, they know that there's that much engagement because you actually give away what you say you're going to. You actually fulfill. It's like, so there's it from one perspective, it's like, oh wow, like people trust me so much. But from another perspective, it's like you have all, like, they basically know who you are. They've probably heard you talk collectively for like an hour after watching all your stories for a couple months, so they feel like they know you.
That makes sense. Yeah, still just blows my mind. Regardless, for anyone to like Venmo somebody money that they've never met, it's just crazy to me. For like a product they've never seen.
You have no idea who they are, but they feel like it's you.
So I want to be able to like use my skills, which I'm been learning what are my like skills and attributes that I'm actually like really good at, which is being trustworthy, fulfilling what I can do, finding computers, finding good computers, I guess. So I'm trying to figure out those things and then like how to monetize that skill, I guess, and help other people at the same time.
Gotcha.
And even if that is not scalable, maybe by growing enough people that want that I could get like a sponsorship for a giveaway or something. And that would, I don't know, by having the following, it gives you enough power to like leverage with companies eventually. So maybe I could like give away a car, something, I don't know, something like that.
Yeah. The thing is, like with these, like, because I'm doing Amazon, you're doing.
I do Amazon. I do Amazon too. I sell on Amazon.
I've seen your sales the other day. You sold like $800. It was like
and like 3 items or 2 items. Yeah.
You're like, we focus on high dollar items.
Yeah.
But the thing with all these
models,
Amazon. Nice. The thing with all these models is like you have the model of flipping stuff, whether it's selling on Amazon, whether it's going to pawn shops, selling on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist. Who else is there?
eBay.
There's eBay. There's the Bonafide House, and then there's like 8 other clothing platforms, right? There's
my wife does Poshmark, so I'll bring some stuff for her if I see it.
So the cool thing about taking your camera out and doing the whole Gary Vee thing, are you a Gary Vee fan?
He's okay. I mean,
he's okay.
He's okay. He's a little intense for me sometimes.
He's super fucking intense. To record everything you do. Your grandchildren.
I mean, I think his models work for some people. I don't think it will work for everybody, but they work for some people.
The thing is, like, what I was getting at is we all have like our actual businesses, and then for those of us that choose to document it, that could potentially turn into another source of income. I'm about to sell a course, so that's another source.
Oh yeah,
for me is my course. But even without the course, if we just look at if we look at your audience, your business has an audience. Your business's audience for you is the people buying the computers. That's why I was asking if you had a buy list, which you don't. But Facebook Marketplace.
I tried to buy. Like, you mean like my followers or like local people?
Just
like,
local people. Just people.
No, I'm starting to with the guy that I met today. Like, I actually have his phone number. I've sold to one guy in Facebook Marketplace twice, but he noticed that I was the same seller, and then he contacted me and was like, "Hey, I want to get this other computer from you." I was like, "Okay," but I'm not like searching them out. I let them find me.
Gotcha.
I don't know if computers are like property where you would have like a buyer's list, but
gotcha.
I tried it on Instagram, but there were too many people being flaky. Like I put up a Google sheet and I said, like, fill out what you're looking for, your price range, like what you're going to use it for. I tried this year. I think it was a year and a half ago. It was I called it the wish list or something. And I had them fill out the form. They went to the link, filled out the form, and gave me a bunch of things that they were looking for. And I would look in price ranges and I would look for it. And then people would just never message me back. So I was like, okay, this idea sucks.
Gotcha. Yeah, because there's not a whole lot of brand behind that one.
When I can post something on my story and somebody buys it in 15 seconds, like I like that buyer. I don't like me DMing like 10 people that aren't going to message me back.
Yeah. And now you have choice with your following and you have brand. But what I was getting at is like with our actual businesses, at least like with me, like I'm dealing with libraries, thrift stores. Now I'm dealing with like a lot of other resellers, which I've kind of like merged my
restricted inventory. Yeah.
Inventory.com.
The bicep coming out, right? He's like, yeah.
Hold on one second. Watch this.
Grind hard, well done, sir. And welcome to the freaking Well Show.
Yes.
Yeah, baby.
You threw the ad in there.
Restrictedinventory.com.
Yeah.
But the thing that's so interesting about documenting our journeys is a video, a picture, over time, just our profiles can get so much traffic. You have 2,000 people, you have 2,000 eyes. And out of that 2,000 eyes, it's probably a different, like over the week, it's probably 5,000 or 7,000 people watching you because
it's not the same person over and over again.
Different people each day. Like it's ridiculously scalable. I mean, it's scalable, but I guess it doesn't take any more effort for you posting your pictures now than it did when you had 2,000 followers. And now you have 12,000. You post a picture, same exact effort. You still had to upload it to your phone. You still had to click OK, boom, go, but a much different result. When it comes to physical businesses and even just like flipping businesses, I think the reason why so many of us gravitate towards a personal brand and documenting this whole thing is if you look at businesses as having different landscapes, the flipping landscape and selling on Amazon, selling on eBay, that landscape's nice. You can make money on it quick, but the landscape of social media and just online in general, it can grow so much faster. It's prolific and it can skyrocket quick. Where if I was to experience the same amount of growth in my business as I was with my following, let's say I have 1,500 people that visit my profile on Instagram one week, and then let's say next year I have, let's say 10,000 people visit my profile. That's exponential growth in my business. And this is like my business is directly tied with Instagram now. If we experience that type of growth, which is 7x, I'm gonna have to hire probably 5 to 7 times as many employees as I have now. I'm going to have to, and if you're a one-man army, you're going to have to work 5 to 7 times harder. Like when your business scales, you get what I'm saying? Like as this business, as our physical businesses scale, like our inventory businesses, to see that kind of growth that social media is capable of overnight, we would have to put dramatic systems in place to be able to handle it. Whereas I think we all intuitively know that social media just has the ability to go. Yeah,
you don't need the square footage of a warehouse. You need the square footage of a phone in your pocket. It's crazy.
Yeah. And
absolutely. And
you're just talking about this on here, like having the mentality of walking in a room and actually realizing like even 20 people, dude, even 20 people really paying attention, even 5, even one person. Like I like
just Steve over there listening to it.
Right. It's like, it means something. So
totally. And you have to have that outlook. You can't see it and be like, oh man, I'm only getting 20 people watching. And that guy's getting 200 people watching. That guy's getting 2,000 people watching. You have to be thankful for those 20 people that are watching your stuff and just be like, wow, they're watching my content. Something that I came out of my head and put on the internet, they're watching it. And you have to be very thankful for it. Otherwise, it's going to drive you insane. I've been in the whole comparison toxicity. Like it's not the way to go. It's not going to help anybody.
What's interesting to me, like just while we're on the topic of making money and we're talking about social media and our actual businesses, you're not interested in having like an information product?
I'm working on one. I am. I've kind of put it on hold because of the whole coronavirus stuff. Yeah. I don't want to be like dropping it when like everyone's tight for money. I don't think that's a good time to drop a course unless you're going for people that are like more in desperation, trying to make money. Maybe it would be a good time to drop a course.
Interesting. Yeah.
But
I think it's going to help out, as bad as that sounds. Like in the long run, there's going to be more people that want to make money online. So
it hedges your risk. If you have a 9-to-5 and you think you're always going to have that job, well, you could get laid off at any time, but having information in your head where you can take that information or that skill or that process and system and turn it into money, it like hedges your risk of your job, of your life. It just makes you a more confident person because you can sustain. Like confidence comes from the ability to like survive in situations. Yes. Yeah. And if you're not able to survive, you're not going to be confident. Like if you're not, I don't know, if you're not gonna be able to feed yourself, you're not gonna be a confident person. If you're not gonna be able to stand up for yourself and give an answer, you're not gonna be a confident person. But having the confidence that you can do something if you got fired is like huge.
Right. That's why like I'm envious of you in a sense because you are a pharmacist. You have the ability to go back and have a job at any time you want to.
It's kind of saturated right now, but thanks. It would be really hard for me to get a job in Florida because it's so saturated with pharmacists.
Okay.
I'd have to move to like a kind of rural area somewhere and take just.
You had to get a job right now.
Yeah.
Where would you? What would you do?
I would go back to the res if it was up to me. I liked working on the res and working the contract. Yeah, I could go do that if I wanted to, but it like a good city, because a lot of people don't want to live on the res. They want to live in like a good city with stuff to do, with like airports and stuff. And when you're on the res, you don't have any of that.
I kind of like, I said I was envious of you because of that. Like, but I think if I would have had a job, I would not have learned nearly as much as I have.
As fast as you had too, dude. Yeah. The thing is like I was still in school at 24 and I hadn't like understood like how Instagram works. I didn't understand how YouTube works. I'm still not understanding how YouTube works. Like I'm still trying to figure
people in here right now. It's insane. Like
how many people?
2 people. I don't know. It's weird.
Thanks, guys. Oh, I didn't post anything on. I should have probably posted on social. I didn't know we were going live. I thought we were pre-recording.
Dude, I'll be like walking around. I get followers when I'm on my phone. Like I'll be like downtown Nashville, just like leaving salsa, and like 20, 30 people will come in. But we got Junkman in here.
What's up, Junkman? Which res? Navajo Nation. It was up in Page. Was the last one I was at. Reservation.
Yeah, YouTube's weird, man. YouTube's tripping out right now. I don't know why. Maybe it's a coronavirus thing going on.
Well, if people have to physically like do something to servers to like keep them going, I don't know how automated social media actually is. Like we think it's just like this super scalable system, but there are people behind it, like maybe pulling strings, doing stuff we just don't know about.
Sure. But yeah, what I was getting at is like I think it's like a deadly duo when you have a job, but you also have a side hustle that you're good at.
Mm-hmm.
Because then you have like the consistent income, but you also have you also have income from your side hustle. But I know a lot of people that try to get into the side hustle with the job and they just never end up really getting good at it. They don't know how to pull the trigger.
And it might be because they're too comfortable with what they're doing in their job and they just don't want to go all in. And going all in, like what you guys are doing, I'm kind of envious because it's like, well, if I started YouTube back when I was a freshman in college, like I'd probably would be way ahead of where I am right now. I would be understanding social media way better. Like if I was doing YouTube while I was like wrenching on motorcycles and like teaching people, because I don't know why, but I like teaching people about these like weird stuff. If I learn about it, I just want to like teach it to other people. So if I learn about the printers, like I'll do a tutorial for somebody and then somebody will find it and they'll be so thankful because it made their life a little bit easier. And that's kind of what I've been just going after. It's just as small as I can, just to try to like add value to somebody's life regardless.
Have you ever paid for information? I guess you went to college.
Yeah. I paid like 70 grand for my degree.
There's this weird thing that, cause I'm kind of like you, I love helping people and I love like explaining things, but I want people to actually take action on what I say. Like I really want people to like take what I say and not just be like, oh yeah, like whatever. And it kind of like hurts me. Like when I make a YouTube video, I'm like 2,000 people watched it. And I know they're not, even though they're competing with me because I'm teaching them how to do what I do, like they're arguably competing with me. It's still like, I still want everyone to like do what I say for some reason.
Yeah. But a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of them will actually take action.
But they say there's this new term I learned. It's called a tripwire.
Uh-huh. I know what tripwire is.
You make a product and you sell it for dirt cheap. You sell it for like less than $10.
Or you give it away for free or whatever.
Yeah. I think now like you want to charge a little bit is what I've heard. This is like the theory. You want someone to buy from you at least once because when they invest in you, number one, they're actually going to do what you say. So if I gave away, I'm doing a 7-day challenge. So if I gave away that 7-day challenge for free, great. Maybe 2% of people take action on it, maybe 10%. But if I make people pay for it, this is not ever going to happen. But let's say in a perfect world, like those same 100 people paid for the course that would have taken it for free. If we looked at those two parties, the one that paid $100 or the one that not $100, the 100 people that paid nothing and the 100 people that paid $7, the ones that paid $7 are going to end up completing the full course, taking action because they feel like they invested in it and they want to get something out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's a whole gym membership mentality. Like you have to have skin in the game. You have to be paying for it. Like apartment complex gym or $10 a month, $20 a month, $30 a month, actually $70 a month gym. Which one are you going to go to more? Like free apartment complex gym or $70 a month gym?
Right.
You're going to go to the $70 a month gym if you're paying for it.
So I'm like, I don't know if altruistically is like the right word, but I want to charge people $7 for this product so they actually
and that's perfectly fine. Like that's
and I want them to do it so they'll know me, because I'm gonna start introducing people to the book game, and I want them to get into the book game and know Romer the Romer is the person that taught them in books, and then later down the line I can sell them my course. But I want to get them in the game and let them know, hey, like I'm legit, like this is information. And if I offered the information for free, they wouldn't, some of them would know I was legit because some of them would go through it, but they wouldn't take it as seriously, and not as many people would know how legit it was because more people are going to take it.
It helps them and it helps you. Like it's a win-win because you're obviously making some money off of it. They're obviously going to be taking it a lot more seriously. So it really is like a win-win. Giving away information for free has its place, and not necessarily, like you said, not a lot of people take action. But for what I'm doing, like specifically with like a printer tutorial, it's like I couldn't charge for this anyways. I'm basically just, it's search algorithm. Nobody's made the content yet. I can rank number 1 very easily on stuff. So I'm just kind of going after that on YouTube or on Google.
Nice. So
I'll rank really high. And believe it or not, the CPM on printer videos is like really good.
And that's what's CPM stand for?
Cost per mille. It's like the advertising rate.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I've been getting
crazy YouTube month where you just like you made like a ton of money.
Never. I'm totally not like scared to talk about it. I make like $300 to $400. I think might be like a good month. It'd be like 400. It's not a lot at all.
Just curious how long you would get to post in Instagram to come live to YouTube. I guess is he asking how many people you have to get the swipe up? Is that what he's asking?
I'm not sure. If you could clarify that, maybe like if I posted on Instagram, how many people would come look into the live?
How long? Like
how many converted people would come to the live? How long would you get to post in IG to come to live on YouTube? I don't. If you could rephrase the question.
What are you talking about, Mark? Yeah, man. Did we cover all 3 topics? World traveler, pawn shopping, pharmacist. We haven't talked about.
It's a good profession. It's a little saturated right now. You're guaranteed to make like $90,000 to like $120,000 to $130,000 a year pre-tax. Schools cost anywhere between $60,000 to $300,000. You need to do prerequisites, which is like 2 to 3 years, and then you have to do 4 years of actual pharmacy school. So you're going to be like 6 years invested. But
what if you just spent all that time selling pharmacy textbooks?
Exactly. Or creating social media content. Like there's a million ways to get rich and make money. 9 to 5 is one of the easier ways, I think, because it's been proven before us. And I don't know, it's kind of what our parents expect too.
Yeah.
So all my dad told me to do is like go to pharmacy school. My dad's a pharmacist. It's like family business, I guess. Nice. I'm not by any means upset with it. Like it's a good thing to have in my back pocket. I talked about this on Instagram Live. Like, I have some, like if thrift stores close, if books dry up for this COVID thing, say for 3 months, and healthcare is in need, I'm glad I have a healthcare degree. Like it was a good risk.
Right. Like, does your dad have the same deal where he kind of like,
he has no side hustle? No.
What I'm saying, like contracts.
No. He works hospital. He's done like worked for Walmart, CVS, Eckerd's back when Eckerd's was a thing. He's not that smart with his money, so he has to work.
Gotcha.
Like forced to work. I like the idea of choosing to work.
Gotcha. Does he really enjoy working?
He enjoys pharmacy. He works night shift right now, so it's really hard on his body, but he enjoys the science. Like he went to pharmacy school when pharmacists made like $10 an hour, like before it blew up with like the good pay and everyone wanted to be a pharmacist. Like he did it for the love of the
interesting
of the science. Yeah.
I think Yeah, there's tons of people that want to be
Dude,
pharmacists.
stop playing with your mic. It's all like,
Oh, is it loud?
yeah, it's just like
my
you
bad.
could just hear it. Yeah.
It's just so cool. It opens up.
Yeah, all that vibration goes straight into the condenser.
I just completely screwed the podcast up. I'm sorry, guys.
It's like me fiddling with this. I don't know if you can hear it.
I can hear it.
Yeah.
Get out my
Go
ear.
straight to the condenser.
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah. Well, so said it quickly because you've only been doing it for like 20 seconds. Anything else? Instagram tips. Answer all your DMs because I didn't do that at first. I didn't know where the DMs were. Answer your DMs. Yeah. For like the first 4 years on Instagram, I don't think I knew how to do DMs because I just had a profile.
Interesting. I mean, you seem like a smart guy, even though you said you weren't. I'm just kidding.
Well, to be smart with Instagram, you need to understand how the program works, and I didn't understand how the program works. So,
what books do you recommend to people?
In what?
Just in general. What's your favorite book?
Oh gosh. I mean, I could go with the Bible because it's like a lot of wisdom in there. But a lot of people don't.
What part of the Bible?
Might then start with the New Testament. Proverbs are good. Proverbs have a lot of wisdom. New Testament's good. It's got a lot of life advice. It's like pretty like old school, I guess. But
Junk Man, I thought he was touching himself when I was touching the mic.
The Success Principles was one that Steve actually put me onto. That was a good book. I think that was a very eye-opening book. Have you read that one? The Success Principles?
I have not. No. Who writes it?
The guy from the Chicken Soup guy. I forget his name. Jack something.
Okay.
I got to Google it now since I don't know. The Success Principles.
You and me both.
Whoa. Jack Canfield, maybe? Jack Canfield. Oh, I almost got it. Okay. Jack Canfield. That was a good one. It just depends. Like you really have to what you want to get better. Do you want to get better at negotiating? Read a negotiating book. You want to get better at your finances? Read a finance book. I've heard The Giant Within. It's Tony Robbins. It's good. I haven't read that one yet.
No fiction.
I'm in Lord of the Rings right now. I've been stuck on the first book at the Council of Elrond. I've been stuck there. It's a tough read. I've been stuck there for like 6 months now.
Okay.
But
dude, my dad read that book to me out loud when I was a kid.
Wow.
Yeah.
Your dad's a legend because that's patience, man. And yeah, I'm stuck on the Council of Elrond. It's just too many people talking, and I couldn't focus on it, and I've just kind of put it down.
Intense scene.
The Eyes of Darkness by Kuntz.
Okay.
Have you heard that one?
I saw.
Did you see it blow up from the virus?
My mentor Caleb Ross sold that book for like $100.
Yeah, that's the virus one. I'm just messing. I haven't read that, but it's just kind of funny because that's circling around social media right now, and I thought it was kind of relevant to the book.
What's it about?
It's about the coronavirus. It's like a prediction that some fiction writer did back in whenever he wrote it.
He didn't term it. He didn't call it that, did he?
It's called Out of the Dark. It's called Out of the Darkness, I think.
Okay.
It's by Kuntz. It's like a Stephen King kind of doomsday writer, or the writer wrote this specific book about this doomsday scenario, and it was very specific, I think, about like China and the virus coming out of China, and everyone's buying the book now because it's crazy.
Gotcha. Interesting. I want to look that up now.
Yeah, it's called Out of the Darkness, and the author's Kuntz or Koons, COO or KOON.
Out of the Darkness.
Dean Kuntz. The Eyes of the Darkness. Sorry. Okay. The Eyes of Darkness. The Eyes of Darkness.
Eyes of.
I think that's what
PDF version.
You're gonna go read it. Are you a fiction reader?
Not really. I read The Alchemist. I like Paulo Coelho.
I think I read The Alchemist. So this is what's going on with this book. It used to be a $2 book. So this is what's going on with it. This is eBay. Yeah. So think of how crazy it went on Amazon. I don't know why that one's $3. That might be a
it's probably PDF version.
PDF or something somebody's selling illegally. But yeah, the auctions are like in the 80s, 100s, 60s. It's crazy. Crazy.
You could have seen this coming. You could have really made a lot of money different ways.
Buy up all the $2 books. Yeah, totally. It's hindsight's 2020. Everyone would be a billionaire if they could understand exactly how the market works, exactly when the market hits of everything. It'd be crazy. Even like the stocks right now, it's crazy. If you would have shorted what a week or two ago, you'd be way in the green of so much money just by shorting a bank or shorting an airline industry or whatever. Crazy.
What's your opinion on the whole stock market?
I think it's a great way to build wealth, but
I mean, like, do you, as far as it's decreased 10,000 points, do you think it's
as of right now, it's going to be a temporary hurdle that
do you think it's going to be like a 6-month recovery or
it's all speculation. I hope and that it will be less than 6 months. Yes, because like if the stock market reflects anything of like the infection cycle in a person, like on a bigger scale, it would be like you get it, you feel really bad, and then you start getting better and better and better and better and better. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
I can't make any predictions, but hopefully less than 6 months.
Do you have much invested?
I do. Yeah, I have some sizable, terrible investments like Ford Motor Company, which has just kept going down since I bought it. And I think they just cut their dividend. And now I'm what's called a bag holder, meaning like you just held it until it kept going down, 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 hoping that it would go back up, but it hasn't. But the true way to actually build wealth with the investments is to buy index funds over time without emotion, just with discipline. Like it's picking 4 times a year or every month or whatever, like with this consistency to say, I'm going to buy $1,000 worth of this index fund, which basically tracks the market. You're going to buy it the same time every month or every 2 weeks, no matter what, and take the emotion out of it. And you will average to have 10% gains over a period of time if you can do that. And that's what Warren Buffett stresses is like, you can't beat the market. Like 99% of people can't beat the market. So just buy the indexes and be consistent about it and you'll be good. Just don't sell, because the people that panic sell are the ones that lose. Dave Ramsey says it good too, is the stock market's like a roller coaster. The only people that get hurt are the ones that jump out.
Interesting. So with the stock market, are you supposed to like, I don't know much about it. Are you supposed to like, they pay, what's it called when they pay you?
Dividends.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are you supposed to strategically sell at a certain point or like just?
So with dividends is you basically just get paid for holding that stock.
Right.
So I own Ford. Ford paid like a 6 or something % dividend. So if the stock share price is $10, I get 6% of that divided over however many quarters the dividends paid out. It's usually quarterly. So 6% of 10, which is like 60 cents, right? Divided by 4. So I get, I should have done it easier than that, but whatever 60 divided by 4 is, I get 15. So I get 15 cents every 3 months for owning one share of that. Essentially would be kind of like how a dividend works.
Okay.
And you can tell that dividend to like go back into the stock, or you can get it in cash or whatever.
So that's essentially like profit.
Yeah, for just holding it. But you're holding the company. You owning a piece of that company could be a risk because the company could be worth less or it could gain. So that's why an index means like spread out over a bunch of stuff. What's up, Steve? Smash that like button. The index is like spread out over a bunch of different companies and industry. So it like lowers the risk. So it's basically a lot less risky. That's why they say to do that.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm going to be investing pretty soon. Steve's over here.
Look at VOO is the index fund that I buy. A lot of VOO. It's called VOO. It's a Vanguard index fund with really, really low fees, and it just follows the S&P 500. So.
All right.
You're like, I don't know any of this stock stuff. I was there too, man. About 5 years ago is when I started starting to read about the stock stuff. And it's really important because I think real estate stocks, and then like selling physical or digital products are all ways to build wealth. And however good you are at all of them can like determine how fast you get into it or how high you get.
It's nice because with the products, you have to put so much energy, effort, and systems in place.
Mhm.
With the dividend.
Stock is set it and forget it. Yeah, that's what I love about the stocks and the dividends. It's like set it and forget it. If you can have the stomach to watch the downturn, like what's going on right now, that's how you get paid for like watching and having a stomach ache. You just have to get through it, and it'll eventually will go back up if you are investing correctly and not like penny stocks. And
your money's literally working for you. And the bigger your money is, the harder it works. So like $10,000 works a lot less than $1 million.
Totally. It's crazy. It's crazy. You need to get on it. Open up. You're 24, dude. Yeah, for sure. Open up your IRA, or a Roth IRA, and start contributing and buying index funds.
Mark Corbett just said that.
Yep, exactly. He's 24, so he's going to be an automatic millionaire.
Is that the number?
Mm-hmm.
Junkman says, "Can I come crash in your place with you and Steve?"
As long as you wear a mask.
Yeah, come sleep on this couch. You gotta bring some salseras for us though, because I'm tired of dancing with Steve. All right, let's mess around with this real quick. I'm gonna get a little outro in. Actually, I'll end this with the outro. How about we do that? I'll test my skills. All right, where can they find you at? They can find you at
the College Picker on Instagram until I change my handle at one point.
You gonna change it?
Eventually, I think I will. I'll probably change it to my name at one point.
Interesting. I don't know if it's good. It's debatable.
I don't know. My wife hates the name, so we'll probably eventually change it to just my name.
Awesome. Yeah. All right, guys. College Picker. You're on YouTube as well.
On YouTube, same name.
Okay.
If you have any printer questions, shoot me a DM or check out my YouTube because I've been going crazy with the printer content.
Yeah.
Romer's going to recommend the Dymo in his course. I'm very disappointed.
Well, maybe I'll have like a little section where you just break printers down. 5% profits.
It's such a small detail. Like, I don't know. It probably isn't worth it.
All right, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Do what you got to do. Peace.
Look, grind hard, well done, sir, and welcome to the freaking well.